Good Friday evening. Welcome to BCP Live. Hi, I'm Joey McWilliams. I'm glad that you are on board tonight. Along for the ride, we have made it through the week to this point in time. I heard someone say at about 11 o'clock this morning, look, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So we've already gone into that for a Friday. And I said, yes, it is indeed 5 o'clock somewhere, but let's not let it happen just yet right here because, man, I've got too much more to do with my day. And I'm glad that you are here on a Friday night. Some of you are watching us live. Some of you may pick this up a little bit later on. Anyway, around, we have star power tonight. We have Jordan Rayner with us here, local girl who is actually making some noise outside of the state of Oklahoma, and yet back here right now visiting with family up in North Bryan County right now. And Jordan, really quickly, it's great to have you back in the county.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
I know that you have been in Nashville. I had an opportunity to get to promote some of the things that you're doing on the Bryan County Patriot a little bit earlier, but it's a privilege to get to visit with you tonight in a live setting. And Brian Cooper is already on board tonight, so he says, "Hey, I know that girl."
Hey, Brian, good to see you, dude.
Very talented lady. So I am glad that you already have a fan base on with us right now. So that's
cool. I do. I've got my fan page checking it out right now. So
good deal. Well, you're the woman in black. How about
I'm a woman in black.
that is pretty cool. How does something like that come about?
Well, it's so funny. That's kind of the name that's going around Nashville. It's Nashville's Woman in Black, Jordan Rayner. And it started out kind of as a joke because, like being female, like I'm always kind of like body conscious, weight conscious. And so I'd always wear black to my shows just to try to look thinner, look a little more fit. And I was headed out. I was doing a show with Eli Young Band and Walker Hayes this past year. And the announcer, like right before we went on, he said, "What do you want me to call you?" And I was like, I had that thought. I was like, "Nashville's Woman in Black, Jordan Rayner." And he announced it. And it was just like this, I don't know. It's kind of like whenever you see a car or you see like a guitar or something, and it's like instant ownership, that just clicked. And it's something that my fan base has embraced. And it's just kind of something that's stuck.
That is really cool. You're right. Sometimes there's just that moment, and that is so cool. I'm glad it stuck. I appreciate that. Dottie is here tonight, Dottie, and we are glad.
Hey,
Dottie. Here we are, just a little bit past 9 o'clock, but I know you're going to enjoy that. Speaking tonight with Jordan Rayner, and Jordan, I know that again. You're a local girl, but not so local right now as you're spending your time in Nashville and doing more than singing. I mean, you're writing songs as well. Talk us through getting to this point in your life. How have you made it from, maybe some early going to where you are right now?
So, I grew up right here in Durant, Oklahoma. I'm from here and went to school in Colgate, Oklahoma, just not too far down the road. And from the time that I could walk, I was attracted to instruments, and just if there was a piano or a guitar or a drum, I had my hands on it. And my dad and mom both are musical people, and just kind of instilled that love early on. And matter of fact, I had coffee with a friend today who was a school teacher, and recalled a memory of me walking through the school halls with drumsticks in my back pocket. So there's always kind of just been that love of music, and that's just what I was doing. And my dad got me my first guitar when I was 12. And again, I was telling my friend today over coffee that I always had that guitar on me. Like if I was sitting still, it was on my person. They wouldn't let me take it to school, even though some days I still did. And if we took a family trip to Walmart, I took the guitar with us in case like the house burned down. I just had it on me. And so I had no idea as a kid where that enthusiasm was going to lead. And I had no idea that would ultimately lead to doing shows with some of the biggest names in country music, and even ultimately having my songs performed on the Grand Ole Opry. I had no idea as a kid where that was going to go. But 5 years ago, I moved to Nashville with my wiener dog Scooter. And I was working at Target, just trying to make ends meet, I had a little cracker box apartment that I joke saying that my apartment was so small that I could sit on the toilet and make a grilled cheese at the same time, kind of circle of life kind of thing. We were there. I was working at Target, cleaning toilets, doing all the things you do working at Target. And I got my first pub deal about 3 months later, publishing deal. And it's just kind of been a snowball from that point, and a lot of open doors that I couldn't have opened myself. God has been so faithful to. About the time that I run one door ragged, another one just falls open, and here we are.
That's it. And I appreciate you saying that too, because even when you talk about the opportunities when you're younger, those, you don't know what they are, and yet the gifts and abilities and talents that God puts within you, sometimes they find a way of manifesting when you're young, and then all of a sudden, hey, this is something I was born to do.
Right. Well, I just realized early on, I was not going to be a valedictorian. I was not going to cure cancer, build bridges, or save lives. This was going to be my marketable skill. And if I was going to have a life, it was probably going to have something to do with a guitar. So.
Well, that is pretty cool. Listen, I'm here on BCP Live tonight talking with Jordan Rayner, and you have a new single coming out too. I know that I've listened to Wearing Out Angels. I haven't quite worn out the computer yet with it, but enough time that the computer knows the song. But
good.
You have a new single coming out this summer.
I do. So this is super fun. I went in the studio this past December, and we cut 5 songs, cut half a record, and we've been working on this one song particularly called Crossfire. And this is a song I wrote with fellow artist Heidi Ray. That's Raye. If you don't know Heidi's music, after this is over, after you're done watching me, go check it out. You've got to know Heidi Ray's music. So I wrote it with her and then a guy named Josh Gleave, who works with Chris Young and is kind of his demo producer. And we sat down one day and we wrote this song. And it was Heidi's idea, this song. She's like, I've got this idea for this song called Crossfire. And I said, okay, what do you think? I mean, what does that mean? And she goes, I don't know exactly. So we just kind of kicked around over a cup of coffee and figured out, what kind of story could we wrap around the idea of Crossfire? And she's got such a great brain for melody. And she just kind of started spitting out like this crossfire, dodging eyes like bullets. And that's just she started kind of humming that. And I didn't know what it was going to be, but I was like, I love that. So we ran with it. And not too long later, my producer heard the song and he said, yeah, we've got to cut that. The world's got to hear that song. So we went in the studio this past December, and Ilya Tashinsky, my producer, studio veteran, amazing musician. He and I have been working on this for the past 6 months, going back and forth from his home studio to my home studio, just laboring on this song, laboring and agonizing over it, getting it just perfect. And we finally mastered it just 2 weeks ago. We got the final mastered version, doing a photo shoot next week for the cover art, and we're getting all the licensing and stuff, and we're getting ready to drop it this summer. And you're absolutely going to love this song. I'm so proud of it.
Well, that's cool. Well, we want to promote that when the time comes, definitely.
Yeah,
we want to be able
absolutely.
to talk about it here on Bryan County Patriot. You're talking about being in Nashville too, and mentioning some of the things that you've done, even just being in a coffee shop or just visiting with someone, and that's part of the writing process right there too. Just talking it through and working it through, and what does this sound like? I think that's incredibly cool. Even with something like that, you've had some chances to perform in some pretty big places in Nashville. Talk about that.
Well, when I moved to Nashville, the artist thing was not on my radar. I went there to be a songwriter. I just wanted to be in the background. I didn't have the confidence, or even at the time, the voice, in my opinion, to be an upfront recording artist. But I've had some incredible friends that have surrounded me along the way and have really encouraged that side of me. I would play a song that I had written, just showing somebody, hey, check out this song we wrote this week. And they would say things like, well, why aren't you the one singing this? Why are you pitching it to other artists? Why don't you sing it? And, they just kind of fostered that confidence over time. And I finally called up a friend of mine. I remember exactly where I was. I was turning on 840 going from Nashville to Murfreesboro. And I called up a good friend of mine. I said, I want to do this artist thing, and I want to do it for real. And he said, okay, welcome aboard. And that was 2 years ago. And like I said earlier, God's just been faithful to open doors. And as I've gotten to do shows with Eli Young Band, with Chris Lane this past year, with Walker Hayes, and just some other amazing artists that I can't believe I've gotten a chance to work with. I was able to do a songwriters conference this past January up in Colorado with Luke Combs and Leanne Womack, and Craig Morgan has become a dear friend of mine and just dear mentor of mine. And it's just crazy the folks that God has surrounded me with and given me a chance to learn from and grow from. And we're only getting started. That's the crazy thing, is I'm looking ahead at what we've got coming. I can't talk about all of it right now. I hope to be able to share more about that soon, but we're just at the beginning of the ride, and it's going to be a heck of a journey.
Well, I don't expect you to have breaking, too much someday.
Yeah.
But now may or may not be that time. Well, that's really cool. So you're taking a little bit of time though this week. I know I have the chance to visit with you right now because you are back in Caddo, as a matter of fact, with the family.
I am. I'm here in my dad's office. My dad's a pastor. I've got 18 different Bibles in front of me right now, and yeah.
Well, one of them I'm sure has a translation that you like, right?
I'm sure there's got to be one. I don't see the Johnny Cash Bible in here though anywhere. So.
Oh, I'm sure. Does that exist?
It does not, but it should. Okay. And the first commandment should be, "Thou shalt wear black."
All right. Hey, listen, I didn't want to be gullible there, but I wouldn't be surprised because there are so many translations to reach out to, different people.
Yeah. You might Google it. You might be surprised.
I'm probably going to find that somewhere. Kathy, Richard, Jamie, lots of other folks on board tonight. Teresa, I'm glad that you are here as well, as we're speaking now with Jordan Rayner and listening with her tonight about not only singing but songwriting as well. And I think I wanted to touch on that just a little bit more. I got to talking and thinking about the places you performed, but man, songwriting can happen really at any point. I would imagine, just right as you talked about being there on 840 or whatever. And when I realized that was a different story, but still, when you travel that, I'm sure, regularly.
Yeah.
Do you ever just keep a notebook with you, just so all of a sudden you don't want to forget? Man, there's something I have to write this down now.
Well, back in the days before I had Siri and had my iPhone, I've gotten desperate at times. I remember one particular time I was driving and had this idea hit me, and I couldn't find anything to write on, so I grabbed an old Burger King bag and a tube of lipstick and wrote lyrics on a Burger King bag with lipstick. So any means to get the job done. But now these days I pull up Google Docs and then I just talk it into my phone, and I sound like a mad woman. But yeah, they can hit anywhere.
That is great. Well, I can picture that too. Driving down the road and seeing that.
Talking to myself, yeah.
Well, you're definitely not the first person to be talking to yourself on a major interstate in Tennessee, I'm sure.
No, that's the thing, is I am not alone in my kind. I'm surrounded by my people. That's for sure.
Well, as we're visiting with Jordan here, one thing that obviously you can't help but notice is the fact that you have the shades on right now. I realize we're closing in on summer solstice, and I think the sun's gone down by now. But these are some really long days. But even so, Jordan, a little late in the day, maybe for shades.
It's dark outside. It is dark outside. So funny thing. I was doing a show in Tuskahoma about 2 or 3 years ago, and it was one of the few shows a year that my parents actually get to come out to because it's within driving distance. And I've always had this rivalry with my mother. My mom, from an early age, tried to put me in dresses, tried to put little pink bows on my head. She wanted to raise, kind of the Princess Barbie girl, and I just happened to turn out to be a guitar slinging tomboy. And we've always fought that. And I was going out to do that show. It was a big outdoor show, and I had my shades on, but it was starting to get dark. And I was talking to Mom before the show, and she goes, now Jordan, you're going to take those shades off, if it's dark when you go on. And I just kind of smirked at her, and I said, maybe. And that freaked her out. She really thought that I was going to go on stage with my shades on while it was dark. And she said, "Oh, Jordan, you're going to look conceited. People are going to think you're conceited and you just don't need to do that." And I kid you not, for 30 minutes while I was backstage waiting on the show to start, she was blowing up my phone with texts going, "Don't you wear those shades. Don't." So naturally, what did I do? I walk out on stage with my shades on and I pull them down. I look right at her. And I start the first song. And again, it's just one of those things that kind of clicked and kind of stuck. And I tell this story. I love to tell this story. I love my mama, but I do wear the shades just to annoy my mama. And anytime if I'm out or whatever and I don't have my shades on, people will comment on that and be like, "Hey, where are your shades?" Like they've come to love that and kind of joke around. So the shades stay.
Well, I get it. Well, listen, I completely understand. And I just from listening to the stories that you've told earlier this evening, I would have been disappointed if you hadn't smirked just a little bit.
Yeah.
That seems like a big part of the personality. Well, Jordan,
it does. It works.
You've got the single Crossfire coming out this summer, and
Yes,
we've talked about Wearing Out Angels. If you haven't heard that yet, that is out. And you can listen to that. By the way, let me pull this up here because you can right there go to JordanRaynerOfficial.com. I believe I have that down right. And so you can check that out there. So and there, by the way, is the song.
I'm proud of that one. Yeah, thank you. It's a cool song.
So the folks can listen to that. If you haven't had a chance to hear Jordan yet, then you need to do that, and that is an awesome song. All right, well, Jordan, as we wrap up tonight, really quickly, then how do the people? Now, I said JordanRaynerOfficial.com, so that's one way to get in touch with you. How also can the folks find you?
Okay, so my biggest online fan base right now is on Facebook. So you can search Jordan Rayner, like fan page, Jordan Rayner Music, and you'll find my fan page there and got some good stuff there. You can also follow me on Instagram at the Jordan Rayner. I keep you guys up to date on just kind of fun stuff that's going on, and you'll also be able to find the new single Crossfire when it drops. That'll be announced there as well. So,
all right. Well, hey, listen, as I know that it's a long road, and I think one of the things I appreciated about what you said is that it's still at the beginning of the road. You have a long way to go, but you look ahead just a little bit. I mean, what does the future look like? Lots more songs, lots more songwriting.
Lots more songs and authentic country songs that tell real stories and have real weight and real meaning. I don't write fluff. I don't write crap. Again, I admire the old school that actually had something to say, and that's what's going to continue to come out of my brand and out of my music. All
right. Well, we look forward to it. And a shout out, by the way, to your parents, who I know are around there right now. And of course, according to the comments, your dad and the dogs got kicked out, so they're out right now.
Yeah, I heard the ruckus earlier. Dad got the dogs all riled up, so it's madhouse around here.
Well, thank you for stopping by BCP Live tonight, Jordan. And
thank you so much for a fantastic interview.
Oh, you're very welcome, and you're welcome to come back when you are back in town. And hey, who knows? The magic of the internet. We may have to catch you one of these times in Tennessee as well.
That sounds great. Anytime, my friend.
All right. God bless you. That is Jordan Rayner, and she is, country music artist, songwriter, and local artist, local product, who has made her way to the national scale there in Nashville, Tennessee. So shout out to her. Thank you very much, Jordan, for being on the show tonight. Also, and I do want to take the time really quickly. Almost lost my advertisers there. So I want to say thanks to our advertisers tonight, Blackburn Plumbing and Air, as well as Cherokee Communications, the Durant Riding Club Pro Rodeo. Next weekend starts 1 week from tonight, and I believe we're going to get to visit with West Huggins again this coming week. He'll be talking rodeo stuff as well. So that is this. This is 7 days from tonight, by the way. 19th and 20th, Green Spray, Hub Club Nutrition in Texoma Engraving, along with Omnicare 365, S&L Collision Center, Stuteville Chevrolet, and Workout Anytime. Man, our advertisers are great. I actually had a chance to get to visit with one of the advertisers for not only the Bryan County Patriot, but also for OklahomaSports.net and ArkansasSports.net today. And we'll talk with him, I believe, a little bit later on. But I appreciate all of our advertisers. Could not do this without them. So anyway, last thing as we wrap it up tonight, and the beer rug numbers climbed in Bryan County. 2 more. We can talk about that a little bit later on. I saw published earlier this, it was actually today, and there were some big numbers in the state of Texas, and specifically in Dallas County, but I appreciated what the person who published this said. The numbers are high. It is very likely because the testing is more now than it's ever been, and that's going to be part of it. So, let's not be afraid. Let's not walk in fear. And that's how I wanted to wrap that up tonight in talking about this. Oh, hey, well, hang on. Before we wrap it up, let's throw this up. I love saying that, by the way. Just so you know, I do know that I'm saying it. Bryan went over to see Daryl today. Got the lanyards, got a new license plate, and will be going back. Daryl Holiday, who's the owner of Pro Image here in Durant. We had him on the show last night. So Bryan got some swag. I'm guessing. Now, let me ask you really quickly, Bryan, if you have time to comment before we get off the air. Was it Arkansas stuff? That WPS? What does that mean? Not sure. Woo Pig. What? We'll work on that. We'll see if we can figure out what that's all about. But anyway, I'll wait. See if Bryan comments. There we go. Yeah, Hogs and Broncos. There we go. Hogs and Broncos. So he did get some Arkansas swag. So there you go. You got a Pro Image, and you're gonna get some pro stuff, college stuff. He has so many things out there. So stop by Daryl's place and tell him that Joey sent you. Tell him you heard it right here on BCP Live. That would be cool. Oh, that's what it means? Woo Pig Suey. Oh, sorry, Bryan. I'm just a little bit slow. I wasn't following. I'm just kidding. I know what that's all about. All right. We've said thank you to our advertisers. Thank you to you for watching tonight. Jordan, great guest. I look forward to seeing Crossfire when that comes out and hearing that single when that comes out this summer. We will talk about it. It's summer right now, by the way. Summer solstice is next weekend. So I'm sure we'll be talking about that in upcoming weeks. All right. To Jeff and Robin Self, thank you for letting me get to visit with your daughter tonight. You guys have a great service on Sunday. And Ronnie, I am not, first off, Ronnie, you're lucky that comment got in before we wrap this up tonight. This is a MidwestSports.net shirt. Okay. This is my Midwest Sports Net. We're actually changing some of the branding, but we can talk about that a little bit later on. I don't want anyone to think, though, that we're not supporting the Pokes as well. So, yeah, it's a big deal. Anyway, all right, folks, be wise. Please be wise, okay? Wisdom comes in so many ways, so please be wise. Daryl, hey, we've been giving lots of shout-outs tonight, so appreciate you joining tonight as well. Folks are already buying things. Bryan's excited about what he got at your place today, so we'll continue to give a shout-out there. Be wise. Seriously, be wise. So much is happening in the world. I am so much more enjoying talking to the people with whom I've had a chance to visit this week. And we've talked about great things at Southeastern. We've talked about great things, local artists doing well. We're talking about local store owners and local businesses. Man, there is some majorly messed up stuff going on all around the world. But I'm enjoying talking about the positive things with you all, and we're going to try to keep on doing that right here on BCP Live. So be wise, use discretion, and do not walk in fear. No matter what the numbers say, no matter what this or that says, do not walk in fear. I'm telling you, there is no virus that determines your future, and there is no chart that says who lives or who dies. We're going to walk fear-free. We are not going to be afraid. And let's do this again tomorrow night. Okay, how about that? Let's come back one more time. One more big shout-out. Jordan Rayner, thank you very much for being on the show tonight. God bless you and your family, and I really appreciate the chance to get to visit with you. All right? Call it an evening. How about that? Be back again tomorrow night. God bless you all. Have a great night.